May 1945. While the world celebrated Nazi Germany's defeat, Winston Churchill saw a darker reality. Soviet troops, once allies, now occupied Eastern Europe. Churchill's private memos warned of Stalin's expansionist ambitions, calling it the descent of an Iron Curtain. This tension set the stage for a radical plan few dared to consider. In March 1946, Churchill delivered his famous Iron Curtain speech in Fulton, Missouri. Publicly, he framed Soviet aggression as a global threat, but privately, his warnings had begun years earlier. Declassified documents reveal his 1944 memos predicting Stalin's moves, dismissed as alarmist until proven true. By 1945, the US and UK held a monopoly on atomic weapons. Churchill saw this as a fleeting opportunity. Classified reports detailed how 20 Soviet cities could be targeted to cripple Stalin's regime. Atomic diplomacy, he argued, was the only language the Soviets would understand. In 1947, Churchill's Operation Unthinkable was drafted, a preemptive nuclear strike before the USSR developed its own bomb. Targets included Moscow's government districts and industrial hubs. The goal? Force Soviet surrender within weeks. But the plan required US cooperation and Truman's approval. Churchill's own cabinet erupted in dissent. Labor ministers like Clement Attlee called the plan genocidal madness. Scientists, including Nobel laureate Patrick Blackett, warned of global fallout and moral collapse. Even military leaders doubted its feasibility, given Soviet conventional forces. Declassified cables reveal Truman's refusal. Fear of global backlash and a prolonged war outweighed Churchill's pleas. The US prioritized containment over annihilation. Without American bombs, the plan died, but not before Soviet spies intercepted its details. Public opinion turned against Churchill. Hiroshima's horrors were fresh, and polls showed 72% of Britons opposed atomic warfare. Newspapers condemned Churchill's madness, framing it as a repeat of devastation. The moral weight of nuclear weapons became impossible to ignore. In 1949, the USSR tested its first atomic bomb, Joe 1, years earlier than expected. Spy Klaus Fuchs had leaked Manhattan Project secrets, erasing Churchill's window of opportunity. The plan was now obsolete. Mutual destruction loomed. Churchill's gambit indirectly birthed NATO's doctrine of mutual assured destruction, MAD. When he returned as PM in 1951, his rhetoric softened to containment. The unthinkable plan, though buried, underscored the Cold War's razor-thin margins between deterrence and apocalypse. Modern experts reflect, Churchill's plan exposed the perilous logic of nuclear brinkmanship. Had Truman agreed, would it have prevented Soviet dominance or triggered global annihilation? The question echoes today as nations still balance on the dagger's edge of deterrence.